Hi, this is a Destiny Compatibility reading, and I was so shocked. I've never seen a compatibility like this before, so let's just get started. You are his cosmic, okay? You have a lot of cosmic relationships, okay? So you were his lifetime cosmic lesson card. So I'm just gonna say this because he passed on, whatever you gave to him during that time, that definitely still was part of his lesson. Now, what he received from it or what he took from it, that was on him. Right now, at this present time, we don't really know. So when you are someone's cosmic lifetime cosmic lesson, the connection implies that your presence in the life of that person is one that will teach the person, which was him, that you need how much, what he needed to learn in his lifetime. So I know that you were saying that you felt like it was a short-lived time. You didn't finish out, but some type of way throughout this reading, we're going to figure out that it was enough for that lifetime. Whether you are critical or of the way that he did certain things, or the way that you played the role of a teacher in his life. Now, so right now I want you to think about, I really want you to stop this video and get you a note. So, you have journal stuff. So get you a notebook or something to write with. So you could, this is going to be, maybe you should listen to it all the way through and then go back and do some notes, because I think this is going to help you get through what you're mentally going through. Okay, so you played what I was going to say is, how did you play a teacher in his life? What were you telling him? What were some of the things that you were making suggestions for him? Things like that. Okay, there is much of a value that he learned from you. However, you wasn't supposed to expect him to always like the lessons, or be anxious to hear about all the ways that he could improve on what he was doing. So you think about that too. Like some of the things you may have told him, he may say, "No, I don't need to do that. I'd rather do this," or things like that. So even if you don't say anything, your presence in his life was teaching him invaluable lessons that someday that he could have expressed gratitude for. So just think about that when he showed you gratitude, when he said, "You know what, I do just want to thank you for this or that. And then think about, if he wasn't even able to verbalize it, some of the things that you did, where you felt, you see this, where you felt that he appreciated some of the things that you offered and told him. Now, the way you affected your partner may not have been much to do with consciously, right? You may not even, and so this is why you got all this stuff, you got all these feelings going on, you got all these things in your head, because you don't even really realize how much you impacted his life. And you saying, "I don't understand, this person has passed, this family member, I don't understand why I'm taking this so hard." And that's because you have all of this, so all of these things were not uncovered for you. This is a connection that is not well understood and is more subtle than most. It has Sagittarian qualities, so it has an essence, and it's at the higher octave of Saturn. And Saturn is a great teacher, so you were doing a lot of teaching with him while he was in the flesh in the lifetime. It, in some fashion, you were the teacher for him. Okay, the way this Saturn connections typically operate in relationships, it is not necessarily what we are consciously saying or doing that makes it challenging, but just your mere presence in his life somehow reminded him of where he may have been lacking. So, in the area. So think about that too. Think about some things that that you did that he didn't do, and that's where he was lacking. In this case, this connection, you reminded him where he could be in terms of his life's work. You know, this can be disconcerting or extremely constructive depending upon how you take it, you know, and how he took it and responded to it. This said, if this connection was number one, you played an extremely important role in the development of his character and his destiny. So you got to think about this too. Like, this is not on you, but if he wasn't receiving, if you got to really reflect and think about that. Was he receiving the information that you were giving him? Was he changing some of the things that you talked to him about? Okay. This connection can be challenging on the compatibility level, especially from, you know, his point of view, because he was the one that had work to do. You know, the long-term ease and peacefulness, you know, whereas it was a little bit harder for that because it was like a lot of work that he needed to do and that he had to handle the right way so it could benefit basically his life. And so you also was his lifetime cosmic reward. So not only were you his lesson, you were his reward. So you were an important person in the life of your friend. You represented a part of his lifetime challenges and his goals. Actually, you are the reward for the changes that he made. So if he would have made those changes, he really, really would have benefited from you in his life, in one or more important areas of his life. For this reason, you may be viewed by him as challenging or difficult. However, once he has made the necessary changes and met his self-imposed challenges, the relationship would have taken on a feeling of gratitude and happiness. Often, couples with this connection are destined to be together to complete important lessons in life and love. Once your partner has met his lifetime challenges and changes, you will become the biggest blessing in his life. Now, we don't know if he did that. Well, I'm gonna tell you right here, he didn't. And that means that I'm already knowing that in your next lifetime, he definitely will be there. You will definitely be there in his next lifetime because he was the one that did not fulfill this. And so because he did not fulfill what he was supposed to fulfill before he passed, you will have to come back next time. And then you're going to definitely be, because there's no way that that's your second connection. The first one is the lesson. The second one is the blessing. Okay. And so it's going to be like just like that again when he brings his tail back. As the previous two connections, this is one associated with the planet Jupiter. But Jupiter taken to a higher octave. Jupiter on a mundane level. Oh my God. He is laughing. Okay. And he is laughing. He had a beautiful laughter. Basically down deep type of belly laughter. He had some stuff going on. He had some stuff going on with his stomach area. And so when the cancer got there, it was basically, you need your intestines, you need all that stuff to live. And so he couldn't get that together. One, he didn't totally change his diet the way that he was saying that he was suggesting that he was going to do. And then he finally just gave up. He wanted to have a different avatar. Okay, now that's what I'm getting. And he just, he talked about, he used to call you some type of nickname. Maybe he loved your hair. And he loved rubbing your back. So it's just the overwhelming feelings that I'm getting. He is very sorry though that he didn't spend more time with you, and that that you feeling the way that you're feeling. You did all that you could do to show him the right ways to be and things like that. And he just didn't want you to see him suffering and in so much pain. And so that's why he would disappear. But you got to also think about this. When you remember, you were saying like he'll be in your life, then he'll just disappear and things like that, because he saw in you something that he needed to do within himself. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So you're going to be okay. So, see this, it goes to the spiritual level and becomes cosmic blessings. In truth, you are a blessing to him, but he will not be able to, he didn't realize it and the fullness of that blessing, okay, and his spiritual challenges. And he had to, whatever was in his Pluto card, that's what he needed to work on for him to become, for him to receive that blessing from you. The cosmic reward and blessing card is closely related to the Pluto card. Okay? As far as your relationship was concerned, you either perceived a great blessing, you was either perceived as a great blessing or a great challenge. And the reason why the challenging part was coming up is because he wasn't ready to be the total man that he was set on this planet, and he did not wasn't fulfilling what he was supposed to be doing either. He was supposed to be doing some higher work and some mentoring, depending upon where he was with the respect to his own personal, his own personal spiritual development. Okay, it was very likely that he chose you to help him go through a large scale transformation of his personality or some other aspect of his life. So when he came back in this lifetime, he did choose you to help him, but he still wasn't ready spiritually. You see that? Okay. So you have to you just, all of these things was floating. This is the stuff that he was sending to you, that you're not understanding that these are the messages. Okay, that you know. So the overall message is, you helped him. You were helping him, but he wasn't really ready for it spiritually at that time. So you guys have a Mars connection, and it's so funny that it's like it's a double Mars connection. So it's actually in your life spread, which was in your lifetime right now, as well as the spiritual spread. And that's why it was so much. It was so heavy. He was Mars to you, both in your spiritual spread as well as your lifetime. Okay, as your lifetime this time. And so with the Mars, he is Mars to you in the spiritual spread. And what that means is the two of you were probably brothers, lovers, or competitors in the past life. So that is, you have a lot of past life history with him. Thus, there is a lot of passionate Mars energy between you. This manifests as either a lot of lust, anger, or both. So you guys should have been doing things together to channel this powerful physical energy, and you would have had less anger and competition. This connection can produce either a powerful physical and sexual attraction or powerful competitive and hostile feelings. In some cases, you have both, okay? So the feelings are a result of being together before in a similar role, and that now was channeled. It channeled the enormous energy that was stirred up by the relationship and positive channels for greater success and happiness. Okay, so in astrology, there are aspects such as Mars in the 11th house that indicate people who were considered like enemies in a former lifetime that we are drawn to so that we are able to, drawn to be with again, to work out those differences. Okay, so in the spiritual spread, Mars relationships, relationships can act in the same way. Anyone with whom you share this connection could be an enemy from a past life with whom you have unfinished business. So when two lovers come together with this connection, there's usually some past life attraction that never had the opportunity to be fully expressed. Now, I do feel like this, that the other spiritual advisor that you went to see, I feel like she was pulling from your past life while he was trying to decide. Yeah, he confirming that. While where he was trying to decide, because I got like this real super cold chill. Okay, where he was like really trying to decide whether what he was going to do about this relationship that he was in. You were very angry with him, okay, and you guys became enemies. That's why you guys keep coming back. And so you got to take care of all of that so you can get to the happiness part and have a sustaining relationship. Okay, so this can create a powerful attraction between two people, along with unconscious desire to fulfill some of the desires that were left incomplete in a formal life. In these cases, the relationship represents a fulfillment of passionate energies and can be quite enjoyable. There are cases, though, where two lovers are drawn together who were also enemies before. Though the passion is very much present, there can also be considerable resentment and competitive feelings that surface later in a relationship as a real reason for their being together becomes realized and manifested. Okay, so you guys just got to think about during that time when you guys used to maybe be a little angry. Now the other Mars one is kind of smaller, but it was like you are his Mars. No, he was Mars to you. Yeah, in both of them, he was Mars to you. So he was Mars to you also on your life spread. Your partner either turns you on or makes you mad, or both. He stimulated you and gets you going. The two of you need to do things together that are physical or work related. That's what you had to do. It was a great influence for passion and sex, and it easily could have turned into competition and anger. So think about that too. This is a great connection for working together as a couple, jogging, like riding bikes, working out, and for sexual compatibility. It made your relationship more intense and interesting, but also handled with awareness can keep the energies flowing in a positive direction. So that's what you guys were doing, because all the time you can't have sex. So when those energies were building up and all of was heightened, it needed to be through doing other things together. So again, you is his spiritual cosmic reward. So as a person in his life, you represented a sort of cosmic reward for spiritual or inner work that he was doing in his lifetime. So you think about that. What do you know of any type of spiritual work he was doing? In practical terms, this connection often manifests as your being challenging and unreachable for him. But this was a part of what he has chosen to do. And you are playing a key role in the transformation. The key connection is often found among people who are destined to be together for a significant amount of time. This connection is very much like the one before it, except that it is connected to the past life which are with him. Because this connection comes from the spiritual spread, it suggests that one of the reasons for you two being together is to either settle or continue some past life association. In this case of this particular connection, the past life association was likely very important in terms of your partner's growth as an individual. You are here in this life to give him something of extreme value. And however, until your partner has dealt with his lifetime Pluto card, which we don't know what he did, you may seem to be more of a problem than a blessing to him. So that was, it was like he wants you to know none of this is your fault. None of this is your fault. This is the stuff that he needed to do for himself that he did not get done. And he didn't get it done. So you will definitely be seeing him again. And he can't reincarnate in this lifetime. Because you still alive. You still alive. So it could come right back. He could come right on back as somebody else. you working in schools and stuff like that. You can meet him as a child. It don't. Spirits come back. We don't really know if he could take over somebody else's avatar. Somebody could think about this. Think about how, like, say if somebody in a car accident or something like that and they pass, right? And then they bring them back to life. We don't know if another spirit hopped back in that person's life. Some people say, oh, they was totally different after that car accident. So don't give up hope, or whatever. Just go through life the way you've been doing it. Take care of yourself. Make sure your self-care is good, and things like that. That's what you need to be focusing on, because he's done his part. And so now only thing we could do is let spirit do what spirit does. You see what I'm saying? And don't forget, I'm Mother Mecca 115 LLC, and you can go to my website at www.mothermecca115llc.com to check out some of the things that I've been doing as of late. You can find me on Facebook as Mecca Eves and Mecca Eves Glass. So yeah, and my number and everything and how to contact me. Please send me clients and things like that, and we can keep this friendship, working relationship going. And like I tell all of my clients, I love you like no other, because you're individually you. Okay, so take care of yourself, and don't forget to come in for your services. Love you.